3346. Remember, we have two ears and one mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story. 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 We always need to hear both sides of the story. 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 Yes, both sides of the story. 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 Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
We cannot bring about prosperity by discouraging thrift. We cannot strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. We cannot help little men by tearing down big men. We cannot lift the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer. We cannot help the poor by destroying the rich. We cannot establish sound security on borrowed money. We cannot further the brotherhood of man by inciting class hatred. We cannot keep out of trouble by spending more than we earn. We cannot build character and courage by destroying men's initiative and independence. And we cannot help men permanently by doing for them what they can and should do for themselves. That's good. That means you have to get it before that time. Yes. All right. Cool. It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and to, uh, 2022 marks the start of the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 15th day of the second month of 2022, the International Year of Sustainable Mountain Development, the International Year of Basic Sciences for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Glass, and the International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture. Here in Jamaica, we're just about in the middle of Heart Month and Reggae Month activities, even as Black History Month events continue in the United States of America, Canada, the United Kingdom, and the Netherlands. It's a national day in Serbia, National Flag of Canada Day and Family Day in Canada, National Lamb Day in New Zealand. Buddhists around the world are commemorating Parinirvana or Mahayana. It's President's Day in the USA. This week in Jamaica is Safer Sex Week, and also in Jamaica this week, the 16th Annual Foster Care Awareness Week under the theme Fostering Love. Hoy es martes el 15 de febrero 2022 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado, porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est mardi le 15 février 2022 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 13h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Tuesday, the 15th of February, 2022, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Oh Lord, freedom, freedom. Everybody know we gonna walk, we gonna walk, 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 walk. Now freedom, freedom. Everybody know we gonna walk, tell the world wide world. Let me go.
Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you can download from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We thank you if you have found other means of listening. For example, those of you who have dialed one of two designated numbers to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. Those in the US who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631 359 8281. 631 359 8281. If you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330 606 0953. 0330 606 0953. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page, and we're live on YouTube as well. What's on your mind? Anxious to hear from you. The lines are open, 876-922-4112 to 5.
You're listening to Power 106 FM.
Okay.
The time is now 2:15.
That's all right.
To solve the brutal murder of 55-year-old chef Marlene Stewart Campbell. Mrs. Campbell
No
heard
problem.
knocking on the door and opened to find two men who shot her several times. The men ran from the scene. The reason for this murder is unknown. Crime Stop Jamaica is offering a total reward of $250,000 for information leading to the arrest and charge of these murderers. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays. Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
The Lord be with you. And I thank God that you're here today because you're at a church where we don't preach for long.
Let's not fall in. Let's not fight. Let's get together. We all can unite and take all these things from our kids. Cause we gonna walk on freedom street. Everybody know we gonna walk on freedom street.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Hello and welcome to Dawn Marie Smith. Good to have you on board. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work, says Dawn Marie Smith. Also joining us, Chrissy Dunn. Thank you very much. echoing similar sentiments. Audrey Smith in Southampton in England says, good afternoon, Dervan and listeners everywhere. Listening from a very wet Southampton. Stay dry in wet Southampton in England. Audrey Smith. Sharon Richards says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Blessed Tuesday to you waiting in class. Thank you very much for staying in touch with us here on both sides of the story of Jamaicans at home and Jamaicans abroad. And it's no secret at home or abroad that this is a big year for Jamaica. It's a significant year. This is Jamaica 60 years of independence. And this month is even more significant in a year such as this, Reggae Month. And there's a gentleman who's always involved and has spent pretty much all his life involved as a cultural historian. He's director, curator at the Jamaica Music Museum at the Institute of Jamaica. Mr. Herbie Miller, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, Mr. Malcolm, and yourself?
I am fine, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us.
They are engaging you from wherever they are.
Indeed, so it is. Anxious to hear what has been your experience so far of Reggae Month 2022.
Well, I think the Ministry of and led by the Minister Oliver Green has really pulled a lot out of the hat, given the fact that COVID has taken its toll and we can't do the kinds of getting together things that I know the minister would much rather be promoting. Nonetheless, he has engaged all of the media houses, in particular television houses in the evening, so we can participate. And so the experience has been good. It's been a mixture of joy and pleasure. And I don't want to go as far as say grief, but we have mourned the passing of stalwarts such as Robert Shakespeare just last week.
Mm-hmm.
That in itself was, as far as those events go, quite a pleasing and a pleasurable one. Though we were sending away one of our true stalwarts of Jamaican culture.
Yes. Yes, indeed. In fact, there's an inspired section of that service that we're looking forward to playing this afternoon. Very powerful.
Can't give it away. I suspect the piece you will be playing.
Yes, you would know.
It was for me.
Yes.
I had to turn to. I think it was Dean Fraser who was sitting next to me and said, "Boy, there are aspects of the way we celebrate at churches these days that were unheard of. If we tried that when we were youngsters going to church."
Yes.
I will mention just one.
Yes.
Peter Tosh's Creation.
Mm-hmm.
But what Parson did that evening, which I'm suspecting you will hit your listeners to, was amazing.
Yes, absolutely. We're looking forward to that. But we're also looking forward to some of the other activities, events, sessions happening today. As far as you're aware, what's happening today as far as Reggae Month is concerned?
Well, I've been so focused on what I have to produce this evening that I can't tell you what the other programs are. But I think we have Yellow Man this evening on one of the TV stations. I think it's PBCJ.
Yes.
Or CPTC. I'm not certain which one. And there are so many other things. There are so many that I am myself.
No problem. Let me not put too much more on your plate by just asking you about your event that is taking place. Yes.
Well, all of us know the monumental point we have gotten to in our development.
Yes.
Someone such as I would look at it as the unfinished business of independence. The majority of us just look at it as celebrating independence.
Mm-hmm.
This evening's program is called Forward March. remembrances of the Federation and Independence era. And it will not be an academic
Exercise.
exercise, but consider when we were youngsters just sitting down on the street corner under the street light chatting.
Mm.
Or your father and that sat in the barber shop talking about whatever it was, from cricket to horse race to politics. Or the women on the veranda or at the hairdresser parlor and the dressmaker.
Mm-hmm.
That's how free, how loose, how informal this evening session will be.
Yes.
We're just going to be reminiscing, we'll be anecdoting, and so on. Who are we? Who were we between 1958 when Federation came and 1962 when we got independent? What were we doing? What were our experiences from different parts of Jamaica, Kingston, among other places? With, unfortunately, I was only able to retain one lady, Judith Weatherburn.
Yes.
The other lady had to, at the last moment, withdraw because she was having some other issues that she had to attend to.
Yes.
That would have been our former poet laureate for all time, Lorna Goodison.
Lorna Goodison, yes.
So unfortunately, Lorna can't participate this evening.
Mm-hmm.
However, we do have the venerable Vivian Crawford.
Oh, Lord. Mr. 1066.
And as I said, we have Judith Weatherburn.
Yes.
Stranger Cole. We had Derek Morgan for a moment, but something else came up and he too will be something else concurrently. So, of course, he can't be at the two places at the same time.
Yes.
But we do have Stranger Cole.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Monty Blake.
Oh, yes.
Of the Meritone Dynasty.
Right.
And we have one Trevor Lego Beast Douglas, a root man from them that time then.
Yes.
And I'm sure you have crossed paths with Lego before.
Absolutely.
And of course myself, perfectly.
But of course.
The moderator will be someone we all are very much proud to have among us, Professor Rosalie Hamilton.
Oh, will she be the rose among the thorns?
I won't join you with that. But a rose, she most definitely is.
And a rose by any other name is still a rose, as they say.
Just my man. You have a way with her that you well know.
Oh, we try. So it sounds enticing. It sounds inviting. It sounds captivating. How do we connect? How do we experience what we just started experiencing by your simply sharing what is to come?
It's on the CPTC this evening at 6 p.m. It's for 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be, like I said, just talking about all of the beautiful things we can remember. And as you know, one memory jogs another.
Oh, yes.
And memory will also make us think historically, sociologically,
mm-hmm.
because that's what, in the long run, we want to remember. The stadium, for example, opened in 1962, you know.
Yes, I read that. Mm-hmm.
And I'll just share two little things
sure.
that I will talk about.
Mm-hmm.
As a youngster, I remember clearly the night our own Bonnie Grant,
the boxer, mm-hmm.
yes, was matched up against a British champion, the Commonwealth champion. I don't remember what weight, might be middleweight or lightweight, but whatever weight Bonnie fought in.
Mm-hmm.
And Bonnie won. That was the first major event in the new National Stadium. I wasn't there, of course. I just listened on the one radio station we had at the time. I don't remember if it had already come on, but I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And we listened to the fight at home, beside the radio, the whole family. And Bonnie won. It was our first present for independence.
What a way to start.
Think of the distancing ourselves from the British monarchy,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time we're taking ourselves out of that. Bonnie Grant beats the British Commonwealth champion to bring home that championship belt to Jamaica.
Tremendous.
Think 50 years later, Jamaica 50 in London, England, the World Game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what happened in the track and field? Jamaica won
1, 2,
and 3.
3. Yes.
Then the girls did the similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then the relay team.
Yeah.
On the 50th celebration of independence. These are things in our cultural sphere that does not get sufficient highlight.
True.
So these are some of the things that we all will try and remember for this evening's program.
Well, you have already you have gotten us into the nostalgic mood to experience this evening. So you start at, is it 6 o'clock?
6 p.m. is the start time, and it goes to 7:30. And keep in mind, we're not just jumping to independence, you know.
Mm.
How did we get here?
Okay.
That bridge was something called Federation.
So that will be the build-up.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
And
So,
of course,
listeners to join us this evening on CPTC,
yes,
just as they join you in your afternoon programs from wherever they are.
indeed. Well, we look forward to a very well spent evening this evening, reminiscing and recounting some of the most memorable moments in the history of this country.
Yes, sir.
We can't wait, and we're happy that you are where you are, doing what you do. You do it well, Herbie Miller. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Malcolm. Coming from you, it means a lot because you speak on behalf of your constituents as well.
Oh, I can't come back from that. Thank you. Take care. All the best. Herbie Miller, cultural historian, director, curator at the Jamaica Music Museum at the Institute of Jamaica, giving us a preview of this evening's production. We have to call it a production. It's big. It's called Forward March, and that title would ring a bell, and would cause you to want to hear the music as well, or the song as well. Yes. Let's take the break and come back with more in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line. Message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Can't see clearly, 'cause I worked hard last night. It must be a miracle, 'cause there's no change in sight.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. June in Norway is out of the blocks very early. Let's hear what she has to say. Good afternoon, June. How are you?
I'm good. Good evening to each other all.
Greetings.
Yes, Dervan.
Yes.
I'm vexed, you know.
Why?
I'm vexed. I'm so vexed. I'll never tell you. The vexed in the can't make them work. When I sit down here in Norway, this program in Jamaica, this YouTube, and all these subscribe, give me this, give me. And when they're going around on the street terrorizing these old people.
Who's going around terrorizing old people?
Yeah. These people who are trying to make money for YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And they call it punk, I drop me a make.
Mm. Oh yes, yes, they do that to get a lot of viewership, and when that happens, YouTube sends them a check.
But Dervan,
Yes.
it's so disgusting. Never tell you something, me no plan to kill nobody, but me return murderer to
No, that
see the way how them treat me mama and me papa
no
on the street.
we
Me say Dervan, you see old man and old man and lie down and I go down on their knee and them I say, sit down, give me your money. All these guys, shut up, wanna shoot you all this Dervan. Anyway, me not go do it. Me just exaggerate also.
yes. And you
But I think it's
and you're sure all of that is in Jamaica, right?
yes. It's disgusting. You see, the little old man that's out the road and sell the little tomato with the little packet of tomato, one with the little mango, one with the little pepper. And these guys come with them trousers under them bottom and the little bag and say, shut up, they should have moved me shoot you. Blah, 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 shoot you. And can't flower. You know, bag and say, I feel you. I drugs here and the poor old people, them I know me go around by your knee, and them I good guys, they do come I know me. Jesus Christ, where the limit goes.
I'm not sure what that is because I haven't seen it, but
Okay,
but
I tell you,
yes, it's
where the limit goes. Anyway, I don't want to, hello?
yes, go ahead.
But the whole world is saying, you don't have time to see these things.
No.
Because you're busy. You don't have time to see these things, but I'm telling you, Dervan, it's a little too much.
Yes.
It's disgusting. Anyway, I will leave it there and let me hear what other people are going to say. I'm not trouble you no more. Leave it there.
That's
Only I tell us that I'm sad and lonely to see what's going on in my country.
Yes. You're not well.
And
Well, that as I said, it sounds like something I've seen before, where they're trying to prank people. But whatever they do, they need to be conscious of the fact that people, not everybody.
beat up. I beat up the old people, them too,
Yes. Again, I don't know if we have a lot of doctored videos as well. We have videos that people have messed with and created things that look really bad because they want to evoke a certain amount of emotion and interest, and also some things looking perfect or good or great that have been doctored. They pieced it together. That's not the original video. So if you speak about it in the way you have, then surely what we would suggest is that you send us the videos and we'll pass them on to the police.
It's not okay, Dervan. I'm telling you, it's not okay.
So I'm saying, send us the videos and we'll pass them on to the police. We'll forward them on the WhatsApp to the police.
Okay, I think I can find. I'm not clever enough, but I think I have people who can help me.
All right. Well, share it.
It's too much.
Send it, forward it, send it, and we'll forward it to the police.
Okay, Dervan, I will try. It's too much.
Because they have the tools to check for the authenticity, to see how real it is, whatever it is. Because there's a lot of fake material out there that's causing people to cry or to be happy, whatever, different emotions, and they are not necessarily real. So there is that as well. So send it to us and we'll send it to the police. They can verify whether it's real or not.
also. But it's not okay.
Nobody said it was. Thanks for the call. Take care. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. There's as those of us who follow the news would have heard, one of the star musicians making up the pair of Sly and Robbie has left us. That's Robbie Shakespeare. And there was a service that was held in his memory, and it was quite a memorable service, led masterfully by Reverend Astor Carlyle, and we want to play as much of it as we can, starting right now. Let's listen.
The Lord be with you. And I thank God that you're here today, because you're at a church where we don't preach for long. And today the message comes in a different form. Father, speak your word to our hearts even now, and may your name among us be glorified. We pray in the name of Jesus our Lord. Amen. You know, Shaggy, one of my favorite things to do is to listen to music. There's something about music that just soothes the soul. And I love a number of genres. I love jazz and blues. I love rock steady Sly. I love reggae. And some of my favorite artists are the Bee Gees. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah. I really love Sade as well. I love the crooning of Beresford Hammond and Taurus Riley. I love the artistic flavor of a Chevelle Franklin and a Shaggy. And I love the musical genius of a Protege. Music is such a wonderful piece of art. And it's absolutely amazing how musicians can take individual notes from individual instruments and create a synergistic masterpiece which lifts the soul to a different plane. Music is powerful. Dean, music impacts life, impacts our minds, it impacts our mood. The way we respond to music has a lot to do with the intention of the composer. I say today that God is the original musician. All music came from God. And all music ought to be used to honor God. And today, as we celebrate the life and the contribution of Robbie, we praise God for the many in this country who will continue the rich legacy he has left behind. We praise God for the many conscious artists who put out conscious music to help us behave and live consciously. But you know, as we celebrate, we must not concerned that there is a threat to the quality output of music. There is an unhealthy subculture in the music that is eroding our values as a people and undermining the foundation that the elders have set. Minister, producers, managers, musicians, we have work to do. Musicians, take it away. And you can rock in your seat because we're going to preach a sermon through song today. Isn't it strange how far away we've strayed from God's time-tested word we won't obey? Our nation's crying to be free from the violence and the tyranny. The music has to be renewed. So come on now, we got work to do. Each of us must live and be aware that God has gifted us His love to share. Our country's crying to be free from the bloodshed and the agony. Our music, broken hearts must soothe. So come on now, we got work to do. Shaggy, you ready? Pa, 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 pa. Shaggy, join me, come on. Pa, 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 pa. Pa, 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 pa. Come on, church, let us sing. Pa, 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 pa. Pa, 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 pa. Pa, 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 pa. Sly, you know this? Double eyes, double eyes. I got that from you. Double eyes. Now, if you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 8, it's up on the screen.
We're going to come back to the recording in a moment. Reverend Astor Carlisle of Webster Memorial United Church at the memorial service for the late Robbie Shakespeare. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. Did you know that the National Irrigation Commission Limited is the sole authority for irrigation systems in Jamaica? The National Irrigation Commission Limited enables the improvement in agricultural productivity through the provision of efficient and affordable irrigation to farmers and other customers. Contact them 977-6624 or 977-6727 or visit their website www.nicjamaica.com to learn more. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
Under the Law helps you to know your rights and how the laws of Jamaica can help you defend those rights. We've been doing it for 15 years. That's right. Join us on Thursdays at 6:45 and 8:55 a.m. and at 4 and at 9:55 p.m. Compliments of the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. Educating, advocating, empowering. Under the Law, Thursdays on Power 106 FM.
A most powerful sermon was delivered in a musical way, but nonetheless quite potent, by Reverend Astor Carlisle of the Webster Memorial United Church, and we saw it fit to share with you as much of that sermon as possible. As you heard Reverend Carlisle saying at the start, it's not a long sermon, but it gets straight to the point. Let's listen.
What does it say? If the trumpet does not sound a clear call, who will be ready for battle? I want you to notice the word clear call. The music of the land must not only be a rallying cry to positive action, but there must be harmony between what we sing and what we desire to see in our nation. Listen, music washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. So there must be a congruence between what we say and how we live. Minister, producers, musicians, managers, we have work to do. Take it away, musicians. How can we claim to be lovers of the good When in our music we cry out for blood, our country's crying to be free from indiscipline and anarchy. The music has to be renewed. So come on now, we got work to do. I know you say you sing of what you see, but what will you give to children when you leave? Sweet Jamaica's crying to be free from the godlessness and the spirit of greed. These youngsters need to get back to roots. So come on now, we got work to do. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Now, I watched a video with Robbie in studio, and I was just so impressed with his diligence to beauty. I mean, Robbie stopped the recording a number of times just because he wanted to get the sound right. He wanted the note that he was playing to be clear and correct. And I said to myself, what would happen if every Jamaican decided to be disciplined in the way we approach life, the way we drive, the way we handle business, the way we deal with people? What would really happen if we were diligent in pursuing that which was good, that which was wholesome, that which is right? Minister, musicians, producers, managers, friends, we have work to do. Let your voice be one of peace and truth. Let your hands be felt in works of good. Sweet Jamaica's crying to be free from corruption and disharmony. Our country has to be made new. So come on now, we got work to do. As we celebrate Robbie today, recalling his donation to reggae. Let us work to set all people free and rebuild the spirit of unity. Our music is a blessed tool. So come on now, we got work to do. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba.
Listening there to Reverend Astor Carlisle of Webster Memorial United Church. Powerful sermon at the memorial, at the service of Thanksgiving, celebrating the life and work of the late Robbie Shakespeare. Thought we'd share that with you on this, the 15th day of Reggae Month 2022. Looking forward to your usual participation as we go forward with more on your program, both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, In fact, you can call us via WhatsApp. That number is 876 365 3346, 876 365 3346. Let's say hello to some of the others who have joined us since the last time we checked. Norman Hines in St. Thomas, good afternoon. Inez Ayona Campbell, good to have you on board. Good afternoon and blessings to you too. Asharna McLean, good afternoon. She says, Sir Malcolm, I'm listening to you from Whitehall, St. Thomas. Thank you for tuning in. Asharna McLean of Whitehall, St. Thomas. Lorna Fairweather says the Reverend was so on point. Now for the action. Blessings, Mr. Malcolm. Thank you very much, Lorna Fairweather. We trust the weather is fair in St. Mary or wherever else in the world you are at this time. Ricardo is in Glengoff, St. Catherine. Good afternoon, Ricardo. Thanks be to God, he says. O'Neill says, hey, Teach, good afternoon to you and all your listeners and viewers. Looking forward to learning something new today. And Ramsey writes, Turn Up Tuesday, music to teach us lessons. And so it should be. The lesson in the music must never be lost. Let's clear some of the WhatsApp messages. In fact, we didn't get around to clearing all the WhatsApp messages yesterday. And so yesterday is meeting today in terms of the WhatsApp messages. And we're going to do our best now to go through as many of them as possible, because you know how much we value your input and support. And let's see. Let's go up the line. Sue had sent us a message yesterday saying, Brother Malcolm, good day. Oliver Samuels is St. Mary's icon. I would like to set up a mentor yard, so I want to reach him. That would be a thumbs up for St. Mary's generations to come emulate. And this is from Geneva. Geneva. We'll see if we can find a way to get your details to Oliver Samuels, Dr. Oliver Samuels, CD, Commander of the Order of Distinction. Here's another message. Good day. I am 87 years old, and I have two questions. I really hope you can guide me with the process to get these resolved. What is the process and what are the procedures when a family member dies and left you a property? You know what? I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to forward this message right away to Attorney at Law Gloria Brown of the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company. And we're also going to share it. Well, once it gets to Ms. Brown, that should be fine. All right, so we just did that. We just sent your message because we know Attorney at Law Gloria Brown and her team are eminently qualified to answer those questions. Looking at some more here. This one says, hi, Dervan, would you be kind enough to promote MOSA Week for me? We're there already? Oh, goodness. It is MOSA Week. Let's see. MOSA Week Students Development Day panel presentation. That's the 17th. What day is today? The 15th. So in a couple of days, this will be Thursday afternoon at 3 under the theme Achieving Success, Life After Tertiary Education. And it's a reminder that the MICO Alumni Association, which is popularly known as MOSA, which originally meant MICO Old Students Association. It still means that, but not used in that sense. It's just MOSA, which is the alumni group of the MICO University College. MOSA is 100 years 100 years old. It's their 100th anniversary, their centenary, the centenary of the Michael Old Students Association. And they're celebrating MOSA Week this week. And one of the highlights, if not the highlight of this week, will be the MOSA Week Students Development Day panel presentation. The theme, Achieving Success, Life After Tertiary Education. It's on Thursday afternoon at 3. I won't say it's hybrid. I would have to say for the time being it's a virtual panel presentation, but one would imagine there are key members of the MOSA team who would be on the ground at Michael University College to ensure the smooth flow of the program. And the presenters, Dr. Arthur Geddes, well, he's the moderator, past president of the Michael Old Students Association. Mr. Mikhail McKenzie, past guild president, presenter on transitioning from student to employee. Dr. Zephylyn Myers, planning for the World of Work Toolkit, another of the presenters. Dr. Errol Evans, principal of Silver Lakes Middle School and president of MOSA, Florida. And he'll be looking at climbing the occupational ladder, strategies for success. Mr. Calvin Ferrier, and if we were giving it the French pronunciation, it would be Ferrier, Monsieur Ferrier, F-E-R-R-I-E-R, Mr. Calvin Ferrier, but it's been anglicized. It's one of those names that has been anglicized. So it's all right to say Ferrier. Mr. Calvin Ferrier, healthcare executive and Atlanta MOSA member, presenter, from comfort zone to managing challenges and opportunities locally and internationally. And there's a representative from the JN Group who will be presenting on financial planning, my story. Did we fail to mention the second of two moderators, Mr. Peter James, executive member of MOSA Atlanta chapter. And it will be live on Zoom as well as Instagram with very good support from the Jamaica National Group and a couple of other entities. It will be live on Instagram as well. So that's the Michael Old Students Association. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock.
The Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Walk on Freedom Street. Everybody knows we gonna walk. Walk down Freedom Street.
Good afternoon to Dr. Merritt B. Henry, who is one of the movers and shakers of the Michael Old Students Association, MOSA, as they mark MOSA Week 2022. The week started on Sunday, what am I saying? Today's Tuesday. The week actually started yesterday, Monday, the 14th, Valentine's Day. And they had the dedication of MOSA's office, the Michael Old Students Association office. That took place yesterday afternoon at 2:30. This morning at 10, there was a general assembly for the day students and also a membership drive and the launch of of the chapter. I'm not sure which chapter this is, but a chapter launch took place this morning around 10 o'clock as well. There's a scholarship awards function that will take place tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 at MICO. That's the scholarship awards function tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 at MICO. And then on Thursday afternoon at 3, well, we gave you that information at the outset, the Students Development Day panel presentation, Achieving Success, Life After Tertiary Education. There is the information for you. We hope it finds favor with you, Dr. Merritt B. Henry. Thank you very much for sharing. We're going through, still clearing messages from yesterday. This one says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. There's a little section of Waltham Park Road close to East Road and Dumpling Shop. I'm convinced that the powers that be can't fix it. This section is about 14 feet long. Yes, Mr. Malcolm, 14 feet long. That little section must have been fixed more than 15 times. I know the area, actually, in the past 2 years, as when it rains, the road gone. I truly don't think they can fix it. In the morning and evenings, it backs up the traffic to about a quarter mile. I'm calling on who is responsible to do something about it. Well, naturally, that would be the National Works Agency. That's the National Works Agency. Let's see if we can forward. Do we have Stephen Shaw? I think we have his details here. Hold on. Let's see if we can. Here we go, Stephen Shaw. So we just forwarded the information to Stephen Shaw's phone. And we'll leave that there and move on to another of the messages left yesterday from Miss Olive this time. Good day, Dervan. Kindly convey birthday greetings to my granddaughter, Imani McIntosh, and my nephew, Carl Warp's wife, Gail. I wish them both good health and happiness in all their endeavors. Thanks. We join you in conveying belated birthday greetings to your family members, Miss Olive, and you can expect the bill pretty soon, post haste. Let's go to, I think this one came in just before that one. Just came in while you were taking that one, 7 seconds ago. Oh, well, the caller hung up the phone. So let's go with the one on your end, Davin. Go ahead. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I would like to bring to the attention of the public bad road condition in Claremont, St. Anne.
Who's a member of parliament up there?
Lisa Hanna.
Oh.
It is from the Claremont clock to the Dakota Grove, especially near the vicinity of the cemetery where you have funerals on a regular basis. Because this road is riddled with pothole, and Claremont happens to be the same time the headquarters of the constituency and the main town.
And that's the only area in St. Anne that you're aware of where you have this bad road. That's the only bad road you know about?
No, but the majority of the constituency are bad road, but I am primarily concerned about Claremont, which happens to be in my area.
Oh.
Because when pedestrians walk on that road, and I walk here too, you have to be going on banking in order to elude vehicles that try to dodge a pothole. And now that you have rain, you have water in it, and they will flush up water and dirty up people. They're just creating a lot of problems. And in the latter part of last year, the Prime Minister announced that 16 million was allocated to each member of Parliament to patch road, the bushing and things of the sort. And the work should have been completed by the end of January. I would have expected that the majority of that money would have been spent in Christmas. But I would expect that section where the chopper, where the banking side, even in some cases where they will use cutlass to chop it, what they use is worker, and 1 and 2 persons do the work, or use spray to spray grass in order to reduce the amount of people that could obtain employment for a couple of days during the festive season. So now that that expiry time has passed, I would like to know if that road was included on the program, and if not, what is the plan to deal with that section of road, because it is creating havoc where pedestrians are concerned and the motorists that have to be dodging the potholes.
Well, you're one of the most prominent constituents in that community. Surely you have the ears of the member of parliament.
No, it will fall on deaf ears because she will say she don't get any money and she will have apology to tell you that.
When was the last time you spoke with your member of parliament?
Before the last election.
Oh, come on now. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, but it's a long time. But basically, argument don't make sense now, what you want is action.
No, it's not argument, but surely if you're serious about getting that road fixed, you would be following up, maybe joining a couple of other members of the constituency in following up.
Yes, in year to year, down at a place in Higgintown, couple months ago, about a month ago, they were there blocking the road, involving tax payment that created inconvenience to traveling public. Many of whom had to pay exorbitant costs to go and bypass and things of the sort. So those people down in Higgintown, they have their problem. We up here have our problem. But basically problems exist all around. But if it is not brought to the attention of the public, because I am not in for blocking of road to inconvenience people.
Yes.
I am here to agitate on behalf of the people by bringing it to the power, the attention of the people, that they will bring pressure to bear upon the member of parliament.
Well, for what it's worth, you have used this platform to get the word out there.
Yeah,
but surely,
I know it will be out, because you have a high percentage of listenership out here.
That's very kind of you to say. The commercials do not reflect that, but we graciously accept.
Maybe why you're not getting that amount of advertisement, is that your media host here is a long serving one in Jamaica with it association with other groups. They are probably the one with the most capital. So maybe others not thinking in terms of injecting more capital upon capital.
So it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so what's the name of the road again, you said?
Claremont to Coulthard Grove.
Claremont to Coulthard Grove. Coulthard is spelled Coulthard.
No, man,
Coulthard.
Coulthard.
Coulthard. Oh, I thought I heard Coulthard. Okay.
Coulthard Grove.
Grove. Okay. All right, making a note of it.
You have an space here in Golden Grove too. They suffer from the same problem too. So it's basically a problem that affects nearly every district. So it don't make sense to name out all of them.
I see.
And even when repairs are done, they don't last any period of time. You mainly to shoddy workmanship.
So it is. Well, we're sorry to hear. We're sorry to hear of that situation.
In times of scarce resources, I hope that you will have improvement in the type of workmanship being delivered. So that taxpayers will look at and say they're getting value for money.
All right. Well, again, we think you could very well get your member of parliament to 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 level with you and to talk with you, because I'm sure she knows you very well.
Yeah, man, she know me well, man.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm surprised that you have to call us. Surely you can call her. Unless calling us is to try and show up your member of parliament. Is that it? Is calling us part of your plan to show up your member of parliament?
No, well, they have to show up members of parliament when they have inactivity, you know. Can it start thinking in terms of good road, water supply, improvement in virtually every services out here and provisional services where they are not existing.
Yeah, well,
Don't you agree with that?
work with your member of parliament, whatever stripe she wears, whether orange or orange, if you get my drift. You want to work, especially if you're very well known in the constituency. So use your influence for the benefit of not just yourself, but your fellow constituents.
No, he's not really. He's not really for himself, you know.
Oh, I know.
It's on behalf of the motorists and the public that are suffering those inconvenience.
Yes.
Yeah, so I hope that they will be able to see better conditions in the not too distant future.
Indeed.
That if it was a part of the plan where the allocation was made, now in the budget and with the next allocation of resources to member of parliament,
yes,
she will put that on the priority list.
All right. Well, we wish you well, and we trust that you will have that matter dealt with, hopefully, as soon as there's some money in the coffers, maybe from the Constituency Development Fund.
Now, when they will tell us that
but,
is insufficient.
Yeah, well, this is it.
Apart from those money, they get special allocation from Minister Warmington pertaining to road.
Yeah, that situation is not going to...
Not all of them can be done at the same time.
Yeah, got you. Thanks for the call. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106
Just
FM.
a second, I'm just trying to scan.
Consumer Talks,
And
educating and
send these
empowering
off
consumers
to-
towards a more vigilant and confident
to
consumer-friendly
Felicia.
Jamaica. Join us every second
Because she
and
has
last
to-
Tuesday of each month at 9:35 on Real Business. Listen and learn about your rights and
Oh.
responsibilities. Learn how the CAC works to
Oh.
empower consumers in Jamaica.
Because
Consumer
I
Talks,
was
brought to
talking
you
to
by
her
the
about a
Consumer
couple
Affairs
of things.
Commission.
So.
Protecting your rights, securing our future.
All right, no problem. This was all right. Oh no. But I need the for my record.
You want a copy?
Yeah.
Let me just copy. Put it in.
All right.
Original, you want to scan it?
Please do. That would save me. Yes, please. Thanks. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to Vardo Logbook. Says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan. Good day to Jamaica. My love to you all. And good afternoon to all my Jamaicans, says Vardo Logbook. Natalie Winter in Washington Gardens says, good afternoon all. Big up Micah Teachers College students and past teachers. Great group. Remember Kingsway High School. Big up every time. Love you, says Natalie Winter. To the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilson. How are you?
Not too bad.
Good. How's the weather in the heart of the city?
Sunny, sunny.
Good.
A cool breeze.
Wonderful. What's on your mind this afternoon?
I always listen to the TV
Yes.
But we're not getting it from your sales breakdown.
As in Power 106 FM, you're not getting Power
We're not
106
getting Power
FM
106
on
on
the
Flow Network.
Flow TV.
Yeah, Flow TV in Central Kingston.
All right, let me do a quick check because I think they're all fed by the app, aren't they? Let me see. Have you tried the app or you're not there yet?
No, I'm not there. I'm not having it.
Yeah, that's what I. But that doesn't make you hapless. It just makes you hapless. Sorry, I couldn't resist the pun on words there.
Yeah.
You know, the app APP, and there's a word called hapless.
Yeah.
Anyway, never mind. So let's see if we're hearing. Yeah, I'm hearing you on the app. So the app is not down for sure. I'm not sure if this is the same source that feeds the app is the same source that feeds the Flow channel. I'm not sure about that. Not sure whether they use a feed coming from a regular radio to feed their TV channel, the Power 106 TV channel. Not sure. But we hardly see anybody these days because of COVID-19. So I'm not even sure. Maybe if I were to see a member of the engineering staff, I might walk past the person. Well, I don't normally walk past people without saying hello. But in terms of recognizing the engineer, because I haven't seen the technical team in a long time, so I'm not sure. But as soon as I'll see if I can make a call or two, maybe in the next commercial break, make a quick call to find out whether the feed that goes to the cable networks like Flow and what's the other one? Digicel? Whether they're being fed from the same source or they use independent radio output, radio audio to go to their system, because that would tell us where the breakdown is, right? So what are you listening to Power 106 on now?
I was listening to the news this morning about that police will shoot up yesterday in Portsmouth.
Yes. Terrible situation there.
2 times take one gun and take one bike in motorbike.
Yes.
Cut him up and admit in the KPS.
Yes.
I want to wish him a speedy recovery.
And so say all of us. After all, these are the individuals who stand between us and our misguided fellow citizens who engage in acts of criminality. Yes. All right. Well, let's hope the signal. We'll just keep listening, keep checking. During the next commercial break, we'll make a quick call to find out what's the story there.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks as well for your patience and understanding. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. To the phone lines once again. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Afternoon, teacher. How you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm doing well myself. I was hearing you telling Jamintel that if he has to call a radio program to get to his member of parliament, seeing that he is well be known. Yesterday I was asking myself the same question when I heard Richard Query calling refuse to complain. So even the politician has to call. So I don't want you people in media to make it last and the power you guys have, you know.
Power.
Power is from your work, you know. Yeah. I don't know if you have any update can give us our students over there in Ukraine. I heard the minister say if it comes to it, she will make a move. But the last thing I heard was that a lot of the carriers are not heading that direction at all.
No, because the student we have been in touch with, and we won't bother to call him his name at this stage. They had told us on radio, on the Jamaican Diaspora Live online, that walking away from your studies, mind you, for the greater good, to preserve your life in case of any acts of aggression of a military nature or otherwise, that all that notwithstanding, he was making the point that based on the system in the Ukraine, once you break your program or break from your program or take an unscheduled break from the program, it becomes problematic because the onus is on you, even if you had no control, even if it's, as we say, circumstances beyond your control. And so a lot of them are wary or leery or otherwise reticent about leaving, in addition to the fact that they have to consider spending upwards of $1,000 to travel from Ukraine to Jamaica. So I think they would go from Ukraine to Germany, from Germany to Jamaica, or something like that. And at this point, there is a sense of flexing of muscles. It wouldn't suit. I don't think it would suit Vladimir Putin to engage in any hostilities at this stage. He might be flexing his military muscles, so to speak, but I'm not sure he wants to be on that side of history. But that remains to be seen. Having said that, if the world's only superpower is saying to its people, get out of there as quickly as you can, in light of the foregoing, in light of what has been happening, then it would make sense for the world's biggest little country, Jamaica, to do likewise. Yes.
Yes, that would make sense.
But in the final analysis, we're reminded that these are students who are studying privately. Now, that's not to say that the government gives up its responsibility for its citizens. No. But we're just making the point that it's not like they're on a government program or a government-funded program. They're engaging in their own private pursuit. But the government of Jamaica is responsible for its people wherever those people are, as long as they have a connection to the motherland, Jamaica.
Right. So should I understand from what you're saying that seeing as they are doing their thing privately, the government can't give them an ultimatum?
No, the government can, through their mission in Berlin, Germany, issue instructions and other relevant information to the Jamaicans, the 42 Jamaicans who are in Ukraine, and the 12 in Russia, although the 12 in Russia are not under any pressure. The situation in Russia is quite normal. Where the tensions are obviously the border, the Russia-Ukraine border, and ultimately Ukraine is where the tension is, because it's all about Ukraine in this instance. It is about Ukraine.
Right.
And so they have already, the mission in Germany, in Berlin, Germany, has been in touch with the students. All the students are registered already with them. That's how they can tell you that there are 42 Jamaicans in the Ukraine and 12 in Russia. So everybody is accounted for in that respect. So they have advised the students accordingly to say, there's a line from one of those recordings, who can afford to run will run. And that's, in a sense, that's what it is. Those who can afford to book a flight, because you may recall, those who heard our interview with the student the other day, a couple of weekends ago, would recognize that he's one of those, they're struggling. It's $4,500 for that program that they're on. I don't remember. I think that's every year. I think that's per year. It's supposed to be the most reasonable in the world, or one of the most reasonable rates for those studying medicine. And that's why it's so popular for people from all over the world to head to the Ukraine to study medicine.
Yeah.
So it boils down to what the students can afford in terms of traveling. But if the situation escalates, the government will do what the government did for COVID-19 Jamaicans who were stranded all over the world, especially the cruise ship workers, in bringing them home. Essentially, the Jamaican government did that, and so that's what is expected. That a government will look out for its people wherever in the world they are.
What the thing is probably a little bit different with what is happening in Ukraine, that to get a flight out if things escalate might be more challenging, because I hear them saying that the insurance is so expensive, so some of the airways stop flying there.
Yes. The what was I reading? The flights into Ukraine. There had been a halt. A halt was placed. I don't know if that has been lifted, to flights into the Ukraine. Obviously, getting out is clear for those who can afford it, right? But I think I might have heard the minister in an interview that she did, suggesting that there a couple of the students will relocate to safer zones or safer areas,
Okay.
as based on information that the mission in Germany has on those things. One moment, please.
Importers, provide proper invoices for customs when presenting goods for examination. This could prevent delays during clearance. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:30.
Becky is a deal hunter. She flips through the newspapers every day for great deals on products and services. Wow, I saw the same deal online.
Really? Where?
I found it on G-Commerce.
G-commerce? What's that?
It's an online site for deals. Here, have a look.
Wow! These are deals that I have just found in the newspaper, plus others I haven't seen before.
Yep. Best of all, you can make the purchases right here on the site and have it either picked up or delivered right to your door.
That's great! Where do I sign up?
Go to gcommerceja.com to sign up and start clicking for the deals. gcommerceja.com, where the best deals are found.
Afternoon, sir. I'll pick one for you. This is Dervan. I got a call a while ago from a listener who was saying that normally listens to Power 106 on the Flow network, but he has been hearing a lot of flying and nothing. So I was wondering out loud on air whether they're fed from the same source as the app, whether Flow and Digital or whoever else can. I don't even know who that is. No, but the app is not the problem here. The caller was saying is listening on TV. You know, you have the Flow channel that you can listen to TV on radio. Okay. Oh, okay. That's what you mean. All right. No problem. All right. Cool. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Unable to connect with one of our transmission engineers right now. We made a couple of calls off air a while ago, especially for Mr. Wilson, who told us of the problem he was having. So we haven't forgotten. We did make a couple of calls a while ago, but not bearing any fruit at the moment. We'll follow up. Let's see. 876-922-4112 to 5. Those are the numbers to call. 876-922-411. Oops, we have a caller who has been waiting for 27 minutes. Oh, I was talking to somebody else. Oh dear. Oh dear. All right. Hold a moment, please. Let's go to that person. Hello. I'm sorry. That's what happens when you try to multitask, and we know that we can't do that as human beings, although we pretend as if we can multitask. So that was me pretending as if I can multitask.
I was wondering if that was a senior moment.
Well, it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Especially when you're focusing on 2 smartphones, 1 laptop. There's a program assistant on duty at the other side of the glass. And I have other things that I have to think about as well.
Okay. All right,
yes.
This one and then we'll let you go. I'm sure you're following what's happening with Putin and what's going on in Ukraine. Do you think his agitation is trade related, or is it just protecting the Soviet Union, wanting to ensure that he don't have a NATO person so close to him?
Yeah, well, that seems to be the sticking point, but it still wouldn't suit his interest. What everybody, it's a classic case of, in Jamaica, we have a little bit of frolicking when we pretend as if we're going to fight somebody, and we say to our friends, hold me now, hold me. So that's the analogy I could find to describe Vladimir Putin's situation and attitude. It's as if he's saying, all right, all right, I'm going to watch me now. He perhaps wants all these different world leaders and their their representatives to talk to him. Yeah, essentially. But I think it's really a flexing of the muscles more than anything else. And I know that might sound quite pedestrian to say, but it remains to be seen. But as of now, one gets the impression he has too much. Look at the opportunity now to send that that pipeline to Germany. The pipeline, sending the pipeline to Germany. That is a strong business opportunity there, trade opportunity. That you wouldn't want a war now because somebody drop a bomb or something in that vicinity and it's the end of that story. I mean, how would that benefit Russia? I mean, sorry, go ahead.
I'm looking at that line of the discussion, but I'm also looking at where he's coming from. Remember, this is not a 21st century leader, and he's coming from that old Soviet man,
Yes, but he too will find out that we all perish at some point or another. And so it doesn't matter who you think you are. It really is about the legacy that you're leaving behind. Some people care about that. Some people don't care about that. But he too will die like the rest of us. It thereful behoves all of us to live our best lives and make meaningful contributions to planet Earth. And I don't know if Vladimir Putin thinks like that, but he would go down history. I don't think history would be kind to him if he were to do other than he is doing right now, if he were to go further than where he has gone so far.
But what if he should what if he should go through with his trip and in the end he would have gotten back Ukraine back underneath the Soviet Union?
No, that would be suicidal, actually. I mean, you can't beat the weaponry of Israel, and Israel is on board. I mean, the relationship with the great United States of America is such that these people can send guided missiles, drone-directed paraphernalia, and all these things, and take out. That's not to say that Putin doesn't have his weaponry, but he couldn't win such a war. Not in this day and age. Maybe, yeah, not in this day and age. Maybe sometime in the past when the armory wasn't as it is now.
Okay, I take comfort in your words.
Yeah. Well, I can't take responsibility for anything that happens when you do that, when you seek to take comfort in my words. But thank you very much for the call. Good, you too. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Hello, good afternoon. This must be Job's relative. He has been holding for 33 minutes and 14 seconds. Thank you for your patience.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Dervan, you mentioned Walter Park Road earlier this for everyone around 16 hours in a Dervan a flat. Everyone else flat was not the road yesterday.
Oh, there was a plan to block the roads.
Yes, there was planning to contest there yesterday.
And I think part of it is that we haven't taken the time to study that area. There's a song that speaks about downtown, no love when rain a fall, or something like that, because of how the flow of the water from the mountains to the sea, essentially. And there are waterways along the way. Now, if those waterways are not properly channeled, it's going to be problematic for that network of roadways in those areas, because the water is going to make a way. That's how water is. It's going to find a way, even if it has to. But the ideal thing is to have the proper in terms of the diameter of those flow those channels. A lot of them need to be expanded, and I don't think that we have ever in any systematic way. And I know Waltham Park Road and surrounding areas very well, but I don't think.
And it seems like the drainage needs to go a bit deeper there. And the last time NWA fixed it, I heard like a text that said it fixed several times. One time NWA fixed it. I know you must know that there's an hardware close by it. There's an hardware always take it up and fix it. The time when NWA fixed it is when they were fixing Aldi Park and 3 Mile Road project, and they had to divert the traffic and Waltham.
And I thought at that time that they would have incorporated that section of Waltham Park Road into the development.
Yeah. I'll take pictures of it, send it to Super Sharp. He just really never responded. I was going to call him this morning at the morning agenda, but it skipped me. And if I wasn't listening to your show now, I wouldn't remember until I'm driving come back home, because that's the year I listen.
Yeah, and my thing is, for a recurring problem like that, you have to take a deliberate, scientific, design-oriented, meticulous approach. In other words, before the rain falls, so to speak, do an assessment of the area. What seems to be the problem here? Take some pictures, do a little digging here and there, do some drawings, check with the original drawings of the network of the area, etc., and analyze that information. Now, when it rains, that's when you want to be out there. Put on your raincoat, your water boots, and safely, keyword, safely navigate the area to get a sense of what happens and with what volume of water. So in the rain there, you are increasing your knowledge and understanding of what happens in that time. And the other time that you would look at the situation again now would be after the rains. What happened? So unless we're taking that approach, we're just going to be wasting. What would my mother say? Wasting powder upon blackboard.
Yes, Dervan, when it rains, I always take videos and pictures from right at the woodpecker happening over there. Come all the way right to where a dumpling shop is, Dervan, and I send it to the shop. There's a drain at woodpecker. The last time they fixed it, they made a little mesh thing like to get rid of the buckles that come up further up while up with the water. The mesh was too small for the water to disappear whenever the rain falls. So they come up and they pull it off. Therefore, the road didn't fix so good water. Bring back the road to square one. If rain fall, they cannot cross the woodpecker avenue. You cannot look to go to woodpecker avenue. Dumpling shop now there, when you go into that hole, you just literally hear your front to your feet going on the ground. It is a mess. And when rain falls, you just see the water sweep up like a big pond there.
Sorry, hold a moment, please. Hold a moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
Waiting.
How long is this break?
Waiting on your receivables. Waiting to purchase raw materials to fulfill your next order. Waiting to get paid for goods already sold. 60 days, 90 days. Invoices way past due. What if you could be insured for up to 85% of your domestic and foreign receivables? So that if you don't get paid on time, your biggest priority, your business, will not have to wait. Trade credit insurance. Insurance worth having. Credit without waiting. Exim Bank. By helping businesses, we save lives and livelihood.
Thanks for holding.
Yeah. And one part is a big business here in the summer. So them to deal with the road little better.
Yeah,
It's a business here.
It is. It's a main, I think it's one of those you would call an arterial road.
And the whole of Waltham Park Road is in a mess. Especially go down to the post office at Wakefield. You know where it is there, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't drive go down there, your vehicle in a year, and then the vehicle are crop up next to your muffler pop off all of those things. But Mr. Sean, really, I don't want to say in the business, but don't drive that road in the city. It seems like you keep all the way up on the Park Road and then get to the map. When you go home, you just use the bridge and go. Then use Waltham Park Road. The field vehicle are suffering. And how people are waste time in traffic right at that little here and there.
Yeah, let's just remember though that he's just the mouthpiece of the National Works Agency.
Yeah, that's true. That's But when I really want to do something, I don't want to come with no patch and just patch it and leave. That place needs to pick up. And you read and sing the drain there. Sing to the because they come. So because the heavy water come down there. I want to be a more tired people had here wanting to protest yesterday.
Yeah.
But that seems like they are watching that.
We really have to do better in terms of how we manage our road network in Jamaica. We haven't been doing so well at all, and it doesn't help that we keep throwing money away with these multiple repair programs year in, year out, and the problems persist. We must stop doing that. Uh, Bite the bullet, or ban with belly, as my mother would say, and invest in properly restructuring, rehabilitating, recalibrating, re-engineering the network as much as we can in order of priority.
Yes, I understand. But that's, I only want to pay some attention to that structure road. The whole of White House Park Road one. The whole of it. I didn't want him to bring it and show this morning, but it slipped me. But I'm going to find him next week, Tuesday, when we have on the road with NWA. But at the time next week on the morning agenda, because we're not getting any response when we reach out to him and we do not want to come and hear. It's not like we want to block things or come on the radio with information. But when we send them message, they don't even acknowledge that we get the message somehow.
Yeah, that's a pity. That doesn't help either.
Yeah, but when it's on the road block, we come on radio, they respond so quick.
It shouldn't have to be that way.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. Keep us posted. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live. Cleaner's website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. We're still at yesterday, trying to clear the backlog of messages. We're going through, sifting through the ones that are relevant for this program and the ones that aren't. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
How are you doing, Mr. Malcolm?
I'm giving thanks for life. And you?
Not too bad, Not too bad. Boy, it's a very hard task to call you, because we have a $20 card within a second.
Well, sorry to hear that. In the future, though, don't be shy in asking the program assistant, at least when I'm on working, asking the program assistant to if he or she can call you back, because your credit is running out, or is likely to run out, or you don't want it to run out. All right?
Yes, first thing
Good.
first.
Uh-huh.
The war drums are not beating so heavy in Ukraine because Russia started to pack up.
Yes, we heard that report. There's a breaking story a couple of minutes ago while I was talking to the caller. I didn't want to interrupt him, but the breaking story from the BBC's Russian attack on Ukraine still possible, quoting the US president. But here's a Russian attack on Ukraine remains very much a possibility, but just as I said earlier on, but the human cost would be immense. Those are the words of US President Joe Biden. Now, nobody wants to be the harbinger. Nobody wants to be the one who is going to lead such a disaster.
You're absolutely right about that. But they have some problem because when the Federation broke up in the 89, 90, when they broke up, 89, 90, somewhere there.
Yes.
They had promised, NATO had promised they wouldn't have expanded eastward, That's the problem, But because now Russia is at its smaller neighbor now, they have to jump in and do something.
And America isn't what America used to be. That doesn't help either.
Exactly, because all this president, I think should tell them, let me talk somebody meet somewhere with a Switzerland or anywhere in Europe.
But there have been a lot of meetings and a lot of talks. They're not short on that at all.
Well, I don't know, but what I tell you, even when Russia attacked Georgia, there was Jamaican students there, Mr. Malcolm,
I doubt it very much that it's some Jamaica students evening as the first shot fire. Because they have a distance to come, although you go have some missile. They would have to take the borders probably of Germany, of our other borders. And the most of a Schengen visa to go to Ukraine. That's all.
Yes, but in terms of getting out, the Jamaican mission in Berlin, Germany, was pointing to the students that they could fly out of Germany, out of Berlin in Germany without if they're not going to spend more than 24 hours in the country, they can fly out without a visa. They wouldn't need a visa to get out of there.
Yes, Mr. Malcolm, and that would all depend, but we don't think they would have there a 500 mile or so where those two universities are.
Sorry, I didn't get that. You don't think?
I don't think it's a very long distance because remember, most of Ukraine is already covered up by Russia, you know. So where those two universities are, I don't think they would be very far from the borders.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah, but before you know that satellite dish, they are really going into, what should I say, non-use all over the world now. So,
you mean the massive ones?
Basically, not personal satellite dish at all, but that what you just see on the telecommunication towers.
Oh, yes.
They're becoming extinct because you know that there's a cable run a submarine cable, a very small cable.
Yes.
Size of a hose, run from there straight in.
Fiber optic cable.
Fiber optic.
Mm.
But there's just one pile. I don't remember what they call it, pile. Just one pile of it go. Not very small. This is small, a little bit bigger than a hose, a water hose, but straight to US, to Florida.
Right.
Yeah. I don't have anything much to say.
No, man, you have said a lot. You have said a lot already.
Let me say something more.
Yes.
I heard that Finland, they say that they won't go into, after 800 years, no more whale hunting. No more whale hunting for them. They say that they have ceased the hunting of whale. And
that's very good of them.
Because you know, Mr. Malcolm, when the whale is in not what you call the whale, what you call a pack of whales, not school, I think. When those men fight the harpoon, you know, even some of them are baby feeding, you know, some of the female ones, the cow are feeding the babies, you know, and they just fire straight.
Oh no!
Straight in the fire, you know. So it's a very bloody sport, and then the shark, thousands of sharks will come up when they smell the blood. I'm very happy that Finland said that they will be stopped. Only for Russia and Japan now.
Oh.
Okay, then, Mr. Malcolm.
That's encouraging news. Thanks for the call.
Thanks.
Good. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We've been seeing a couple of stories popping up at different points. And Loop News, and we saw it coming. We heard it coming. Loop News telling us that the Ministry of Education and Youth has announced that the PEP ability test that was scheduled for February 22nd has been postponed to March 24th, while the performance-based task has been cancelled. So the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has announced that the PEP ability test that was scheduled for February 22nd has been postponed to March 24, while the performance-based task has been cancelled. Education Minister Favour Williams announced the changes in the administration dates against the background of concerns raised by stakeholders in the education sector and recommendations made at last Friday's meeting of the National PEP Monitoring Committee. All right, so there's another story that popped up as well, which has to do with Mr. Curry, the Maroon chief, the Accompong Maroon chief. I'm not sure why am I not seeing it now. It popped up as a where is it? But I think the essence of it is that the chief has been charged, or where's the information? Let's just try and bring it up. Come back here. Where did you go? This one. There's so many of the news apps. We're not sure which one it came up on, but we're also seeing making the news. Scotiabank denies duplicate deposit accounts. So Scotiabank is denying that they have duplicate deposit accounts. We'll come back to that, but we wanted to find criminal traces. I wonder if it's related to this. IMF predicts economic growth in excess of 4% for Jamaica. That's another story that is trending right now. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, today predicted that Jamaica would register economic growth of 4.3% this year. This is down from the projected 4.7% last year. The Washington-based financial institution said that while the Jamaican economy is rebounding, risks remain significant, with the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic being the main risk. So let's see how that goes. In the meantime, we need to take another break, and hopefully we'll find the story having to do with Chief Curry. Oh, I think I just remembered where I saw that now. Let's take the break and come back.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Jesus, oh Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Yeah.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious.
I talk about it all the time. They really have it bad. They really have it bad.
And his team, as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world.
Yeah, they just have to find another formula. They have to find another formula to work with these young
prayer line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's the prayer line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
Yeah, they have missed out big time.
Amen. And you shall be a living testimony here on the Lord's side.
And the trauma that comes with the whole pandemic. Yeah. True. We have to. True. Yeah. No internet or problematic internet. Yeah. You're spot on. Yeah. They really have it bad. Okay, I just found the story. ¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:01. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:01. 现在几点了？4点0. Well, the time just changed. I was saying a minute past 4 o'clock in Spanish and French. Now in Mandarin, we'll have to tell you that it's 2 minutes past 4 o'clock. 现在几点了？4点02分。2 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now's a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's a story we were trying to find. This is published by the Jamaica Observer. And the story by Jason Cross, Observer staff reporter, says Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, Shane Dalling, has said that Richard Curry, colonel of the Accompong Maroons in St. Elizabeth, has been found to be in breach of the nation's Firearms Act. Responding to questions from the Jamaica Observer today at an FLA press conference this morning at the AC Hotel in St. Andrew, Dalling said that Curry was issued with 2 gun permits, which are now out of date. He went on to say, based on my checks, Mr. Curry is in breach. His license is not up to date. He has not done the renewal process, and as such, the matter has been referred to the police for them to assist. In August last year, the FLA said it would launch an investigation into an incident in which Curry was seen in a video which emerged on social media with what appeared to be a shotgun slung over his back during a confrontation with members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The cops had allegedly been in Beth Salem to chop down marijuana growing in the area, sparking outrage from residents. The Accompong chief had gone to the nearby district of Beth Salem to stand in solidarity with the people there. In the video, Curry was heard telling the police to lower their weapons and leave the area, while residents beat drums and chased away the cops, who eventually left the community in a truck. So that is one of the stories trending. It just occurred to me that I failed to indicate the title of the piece that we started the program with this afternoon, not for the first time. The 10 Cannots by Reverend William J.H. Boytka. The 10 Cannots. Reverend William J.H. Boytka, B-O-E-T-C-K-E-R, B-O-E-T-C-K-E-R. Reverend William J.H. Boytka, The 10 Cannots. And this song, Freedom Street, is by Ken Booth. Freedom Street. All right, so let's clear a couple more of the messages. We're seeing some other stories. Klansman gang trial. Defendants chastised over yawning during cops' testimony. So they're doing it with attitude as well. Klansman gang trial. Defendants chastised over yawning during cops' testimony. Chief Justice Brian Sykes this morning warned alleged members of the Klansman One Don gang to behave after one of the defendants made a loud yawn while a police witness was testifying. The judge, after hearing the sound, instructed 11 of the 18 defendants who are in courtroom 1 to stand and told them not to let it happen again, as there will be consequences next time. Don't let there be a repetition of this, he told the defendants before they took their seats. Earlier in the morning session, the judge accepted into evidence 3 transcripts of the secret recordings of conversations alleged members of the gang. The conversations of alleged members of the gang. The 3 transcripts, which included a 174-page document, were transcribed by 2 police personnel with the help of the former top-tier gang member. The ex-member had secretly recorded conversations he had with alleged members of the gang, including reputed leader Andre Blackman Bryan. The 3 transcripts were previously only marked for identity after efforts to have them entered into evidence were blocked by the defense. Justice Sykes yesterday ruled that the recordings, which had also faced several roadblocks in being admitted, had met the legal requirement for admissibility. The former gangster turned state witness had testified that he had recorded the conversations using 3 cell phones and had handed them over to the police. So that one is being watched closely. And Ottawa's police chief resigns amid truck protest in Canada. And this story just came in. Ottawa's police chief resigned today amid criticism of his inaction against the trucker protests that have paralyzed Canada's capital for over 2 weeks, while demonstrators elsewhere across the country abandoned another one of their blockades at the United States border. Talk about taking responsibility. Oh, here's something. Hold on. Let's go to Russia. What's this? Let's go back to Russia. Russia. Oh dear. Where did that story go? Just so not seeing it now. All right, let's go to. All right, sorry about that, listeners. These stories, they pop up and then they disappear. Let's go back. So as we said, Scotiabank is denying that it has duplicate deposit accounts. Scotiabank is denying a report that a Westmoreland man electronically transferred money to the wrong customer because there's a duplication of bank account numbers in its system. Well, Scotiabank is saying, no, we don't have any duplicate accounts. Well, let's see how that goes. And Jacure among 200 with criminal traces given gun licenses. That's another of the stories on the Gleaners platform. The Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, has revealed that dancehall artist Jacure is among 200 people with criminal convictions or adverse traces who were granted firearm licenses between 2014 and 2017. Some of the gun permit applicants had convictions for murder, firearm offenses, and drug trafficking. Are you kidding me? They had all been previously denied licenses by the FLA board. According to CEO Shane Dalling, one well-known Don was given 4 gun permits, and a convict who returned to Jamaica after being extradited, tried, and sentenced in the United States was also given 4 gun permits. What is this? So we have had the people responsible for administering our affairs essentially giving murderers and gangsters and dons permission to carry guns. To what? To kill the rest of us? Oh dear. Oh dear. And the story goes on. You can check the Gleaners website. Oh boy. This blessed country of ours. Ay. Jones Dolores, blessings to you too. We need all the blessings we can get, quite frankly. Let's clear some more of these. Natalie says, good afternoon. Hi, Dervan. How was Valentine's Day? Just getting up. This weather is crazy. Listening to you from breeze, full, and sunshine peck out of the sky, going back to sleep. Oh, or you meant peek? You peeked out at the sky, going back to sleep. Keep listening. All right, enjoy your slumber, Natalie Winter. Dr. Renee Williamson Says good news for Jamaica that the Disabilities Act 2022 has taken effect. Why did it have to take 8 years? 8 years. It shows how we think about persons with disabilities. It shows what we think of people with disabilities. For what it's worth, it has taken effect. It is in effect. But there's still a lot of work, a lot of retrofitting that needs to be done at schools, business places, churches, etc. Natalie says, look here, any proper test or assessment can be really done in this, or can't. Do you mean can't be done in this difficult pandemic society? Get real. Hey, Dervan, I would like to see the people behind the glass production assistant, etc., and the people who make the program so great. That's why you're video calling. No, we're not going to run any risk with any video calling on this program. No, not at all. We don't even want there to be a hint for anybody to say, No, we're not into that. So no more video calls. Don't try making any more video calls, Natalie Winter. Calls must be audio, no videos. And I thought you said you were going back to sleep. You keep sending us more messages, Natalie Winter. All right. Thank you very much for your many messages. And we still have the ones to clear from yesterday. That's not good. That's not very efficient at all. And we're standing by to go to another commercial break. Let's see how much more we can get in before we go to the break. Good afternoon to Nishan. Nishan has shared with us some very creative items. Well done, Nishan. And all the very best to you. Keith Williams has sent us a couple of voice notes, which we'd have to listen to off air. And we're Tony Kelly, we see your message. Let's go to the break and come back with more in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15.
Jesus, Jesus, oh Jesus, Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious calling program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live, declare the works of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony here on the Lord's side.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:16. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:16. 现在几点了？4点16分。16 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Here's a message from Driver in America. Brother Dervan Malcolm, Prime Minister of the Jamaican diaspora. Tell him again, Brother Herbie, you're too kind. You continue to be safe on the roads, Driver in America. This one says, "Good day, Dervan. Thanks for the powerful message from Reverend Carlyle. When I wake up each day, I see the power and beauty of God in nature. It's a pity some of us can't see and replicate the worst of our surroundings. I hope there will be a change in what's put out on our airwaves as music." Thank you very much for your message. Who is this now? Not sure. But thank you for your message. Let's move on to another. James in East London has sent us usual highlights of the news in the UK. The Guardian is reporting that senior Met officer acknowledges racism problem in UK's largest force. Prince Andrew reaches settlement in Virginia. This looks like a French name. Giuffre, Giuffre, Virginia Giuffre. But being America, they're not going to keep that pronunciation. They're perhaps say Giffre or Giffre or something like that. But Prince Andrew reaches settlement in Virginia, a Giuffre civil sex lawsuit. Oh dear. Thank you for sharing the stories with us, James in East London. We'll read at our leisure. Another message. Good afternoon. We're watching on YouTube. Well, thank you very much for watching on YouTube. Who is this? Oh, Nicola. Nicola, thank you so much for tuning in. To you, and hello to Elieja and Olivia. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching on YouTube. Thank you. Miss Pearl Brown has shared with us some breathtaking blooms. Goodness. She says, Sir D, may our lives bloom like these flowers my friend just sent me. My prayer partner and I just finished praying for that policeman and his family. She heard it on the radio too. Sad. We join you in conveying get well wishes and sending lots of love and hugs to the family. Hi, Dervan. Good day. I don't think 15 years minimum will deter these gun boys. The government will have to rethink the sentences for having guns, illegal guns. Make it 50 years minimum. Then I think some of them will rethink touching an illegal gun, says Errol in Spanish Town. Thank you, Errol in Spanish Town, for your message. Who is this now? Jay Chisholm sharing with us that, Jamaican named new police chief. So Jay Chisholm says, interestingly, you may find that the Ottawa, Canada police chief, Peter Slowly, is of Jamaican heritage. So who resigned? Now resigned Ottawa chief. All right, let's see what the story is saying here. But we always love to hear about the achievements of our Jamaican family members across the diaspora. Oh no, okay, so this was from Jamaicans.com. Is he still the police chief? Let me see. He was sworn in on the 28th of October 2019. Right. I think, right, so he's still the chief then. He's still the police chief, Jay Chisholm. But if there was something else you were trying to transmit that we didn't get, please let us know. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. In my humble opinion, Mr. Shane Darling, no, we can't read that part of your message. Cuban in Georgia, you should not allow yourself to become a loose cannon. You shouldn't allow that. You can't. This is radio, free to air radio, and it's all over the world, not least of all right across Jamaica. So we can't pass those kinds of comments, Cuban and Georgia. No, man. Try again. You see, which is one of the reasons we always say on the program, be careful that you don't become those who you condemn. In fact, be careful you don't become worse than them. Yeah. All right. Jay Chisholm says, you just mentioned his resignation. He's the one who resigned. Hold on. Let me catch up myself here. Let's go to the story from, who was it? Let's go down the line. Who sent us that story? No. That wasn't James. James sent us the stories about the UK situation. No, we're not seeing it right now. But you seem to be confirming that the person who resigned, let's see if we can bring this up. The person who is resigned, the chief. Let's see. Let's go. No, let's go to this. It wasn't on CNN. We just had the story here. Oh boy. Right. All right. So CNN has Joe Biden talking. He's saying that he says, we do not seek to destabilize Russia. That's what Joe Biden is saying. Russia-Ukraine conflict could cause inflation to hit 10%. That's a new analysis. Senate Republicans introduced their own Russia sanctions package after stalled bipartisan negotiations. U.S. fighter jets escort Russian aircraft in eastern Syria. Retired Lieutenant General on Russian troop claim saying, we'll believe it when we see it. That's the claim of the troops backing off. Expert has a theory about what Putin is really afraid of. And this is someone called Mike Tyson. But it isn't apparently the Mike Tyson you're accustomed to seeing. This Mike Tyson is a white man. But we need to see this story. Let's see this one. Well, that's taking a while to load. We'll get to it in a moment, but
your president has often been the self-described interpreter between Putin's thinking and Western leaders. What should they be taking away from the situation right now?
Well, they should understand what the big plan of Putin here is. And the starting point is very simple. Putin thinks nostalgically about historic Russia. And for him, that is Russia in the 1800s. And that Russia is based on 3 points. Number one is a common language, Russian. Number two is a common religion, Russian Orthodox. And number three is a common leader, and that's Putin himself. And what he sees happening right now is his great dream, the return to the great Russia of the Soviet Union, withering away. And we've seen that in Ukraine. We saw it in Georgia, partially in Belarus. We've seen it in Moldova. He's having problems in Armenia. He's not exactly super popular in the so-called stans. So, he's seeing sort of this great empire withering away. And this is his thinking. But I think, Christian, one of the big problems here is that a lot of people are seeing this as sort of hard power and pure sort of NATO. No, Ukraine is leaning towards Europe. It is a process of Europeanization, and that is what Putin is afraid of, because he doesn't like the liberal international order portrayed in the European Union or by Europe.
Well, some insights there. That was not Mike Tyson, as the caption said earlier on, that we were looking at. That's Alexander Stubb. Alexander Stubb, former Finnish Prime Minister, former Prime Minister of Finland, giving his opinion in an interview with Christian Amanpour on CNN. All right, so we're retrieving the story now about the police chief. Oh, I'm seeing it in full now. So we essentially just stopped at Ottawa police chief resigns amid anti-mandate protests. But we did make the connection that the chief police officer, the Ottawa police chief who resigned, was the same one, Peter Slowly, the Jamaican, who took office in October 2019. So sorry about that. I missed that initially. Who was it? Jay Chisholm. Sorry. Thank you very much for sharing that. So this is the Jamaican who was the police chief. 2019, he took up office as the new police chief of Ottawa, Canada. Jamaican Peter Slowly. He was sworn in on the 28th of October 2019. And fast forward a couple of years later, and he is out on the back of the truckers' strikes and all the honking of the horns and all that has happened over the last couple of weeks. So it is.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Consumer Talks, educating and empowering consumers towards a more vigilant and confident consumer-friendly Jamaica. Join us every second and last Tuesday of each month at 9:35 on Real Business. Listen and learn about your rights and responsibilities. Learn how the CAC works to empower consumers in Jamaica. Consumer Talks, brought to you by the Consumer Affairs Commission, protecting your rights, securing our future.
We gonna walk on freedom street. Everybody know we gonna walk down freedom street. There's united we stand, divided we fall. Respect your brother, sisters and all. Let's not deal with illiteracy.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5:29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:29. 现在地点了5:29. 29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's another message on WhatsApp. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. That section of Waltham Park Road I spoke to you about, I think the answer to that is to lift the road and line under it and so the water can run under it whenever it rains, based on what I saw there. We hear you loud and clear. Thank you very much for your interest, and we trust that some serious thought will be given to that section of Waltham Park Road. Russia returns some troops from Ukraine border amid invasion fears. And that is one of the top stories right now. And Putin suggests dialogue is still possible on Ukraine crisis. Well, it is what it is. Thanks. It is what it is. All right, so we're going to do a jump now and go to a couple of relatively recent stories of our times. You know, we like to go through the archives, right? So VM Wealth was in the news on this day in 2020. The story was data breach at VM Wealth. Clients' info leaked in error, says CEO. That was the headline of the Gleaner on this day in 2020. Also on the front page of the Gleaner on this day in 2020. If you don't love it, leave it. The words of Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton as he addressed nurses, telling them to be more committed to patients than to pay. 2019, on this day, the Gleaner's headline was Big Boost for Crime Fight. Billions more to beef up police, army. This was 2019. So we're still beefing up. Every now and then we do some beefing up, and we're still beefing up. So that was 2019. Just a reminder that this problem, which seems so intractable and has been with us for so long, is not going anywhere too soon. We hope we get a handle on it, though, sooner than later. So this was 2019. On this day in 2019, the big story was big boost for crime fight, billions more to beef up police, army. According to the story, the Jamaican government would be ramping up its fight against crime. Now, where have we heard that before? Rolling out new legislation geared at giving the security forces greater powers and allocating $9.2 billion more to the Ministry of National Security than fiscal year 2018-2019. The government was projecting to spend $803.2 billion, and the total national security budget was $72.5 billion. So we're still spending a lot on national security. Some people say, well, not all the rewards are obvious. The rewards of spending all that money or the benefits. 2018 Budget Day, the headline on this day in 2018, Budget Day, sure to present expenditure plan for new fiscal year. That was the headline of the Gleaner on this day in 2018. The budget for the 2017-2018 fiscal year ended up at $805.4 billion. Commuters were also quoted as being willing to stand inconvenience for the upgrade of Constant Spring Road. Stubborn Court of Appeal judge slams government agencies carousel. Well, there's a comma between the two. You know how they write in the papers. A Court of Appeal judge slammed a Symbiote Investments Limited and two state agencies for being stubborn as the company withdrew its application for permission to appeal a lower court's decision against it. Let's go to 2017. Decertify them. Labor boss wants stiff penalties for non-compliant trade unions. That was the headline of the Gleaner on this day in 2017. On this day in 2016, no reason to party. Neither PNP nor JLP able to convince 50% of electorate to love it. That was the headline on the front page of the Gleaner on this day in 2016. 2015, real or fake? Bogus insurance documents flood the market as scam widens. Banking on the Chinese was another headline. Criminals target cash-rich Asian business operators. That also made the front page of the Gleaner on this day in 2015, yes. For years, the Chinese have been targeted in Jamaica because it is seen that they make a lot of money, and those who want to have a lot of money without working for it engage in extortion and other acts of intimidation and even murder, as we have seen on video. The murder of the Chinese couple in that food establishment, that grocery. On this day in 2006, Professor Kenneth Octavius Hall became Jamaica's 5th Governor General. Professor Kenneth Octavius Hall became Jamaica's 5th Governor General on this day in 2006. And for those who have been YouTubing, YouTube was launched in the United States on this day in 2005. YouTube was founded by Chad Hurley, Hurley, Steve Chen, and Yawed Karim, who were all early employees of PayPal. According to a story that has often been repeated in the media, Hurley and Chen developed the idea for YouTube during the early months of 2005, after they had experienced difficulty sharing videos that had been shot at a dinner party at Chen's apartment in San Francisco. So let's read that the way it's supposed to be read. According to a story that has often been repeated in the media, Hurley and Chen developed the idea for YouTube during the early months of 2005 after they had experienced difficulty sharing videos that had been shot at a dinner party at Chen's apartment in San Francisco. See, out of trouble or adversity comes good. They couldn't share the videos. They had a difficulty. They experienced difficulty sharing videos at a party, a dinner party, videos that were shot at a dinner party in San Francisco in early 2005. And that led them to come up with a system that is today known as YouTube, a platform known today as YouTube. In 2003, protests against the Iraq war took place in more than 600 cities across the globe. It's estimated that between 8 million to 30 million people participated, making this the largest peace demonstration in history. Let's go to the year 2003. Still in 2003, the Gleaner reported on this day in 2003 that faced with mounting demands for his resignation and a battery of public criticism, Finance Minister Dr. Omar Davies apologized for the manner and tone in which he made comments on Sunday, February 9, 2003, at a People's National Party PNP function regarding the handling of projects prior to the previous October's general election. Speaking at a PNP Northwest St. Andrew constituency conference on the 9th of February 2003, Dr. Davies said the government made public spending decisions with regard to some projects during the election campaign, even though there were other pressing issues facing the country at the time. Last year, on the road to the 4th term, there was no way I was going to stop any project which we had on the ground. Even with the flooding, even with the other things there is no way I was going to stop the projects. If it was another time, I probably would have held back on other things and deal with the flood damage. But there was no time, and I am not going to make any apologies for it. Dr. Davies, in a statement, said he apologized. So on this day, he issued a statement saying he apologized unreservedly for the manner in which he spoke and the interpretation arising from the comments. That was 2000. That was 2003. Wilmot Perkins had a field day. 2002, amid growing evidence of irregularities at the government-run National Housing Development Corporation, NHDC, the opposition Jamaica Labour Party on this day in 2002 called for the fraud squad to be brought in to investigate the activities of the agency. The party's leadership also dismissed attempts by Water and Housing Minister Dr. Carl Blythe to explain huge cost overruns on Operation Pride projects, insisting that he should resign. Operation Pride, which was set up to provide houses primarily for low-income Jamaicans, was managed by the NHDC, National Housing Development Corporation. And let's go back. Let's go to 1994. Don Buckner, Director of Television Production at the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation. Remember him? He died at age 47 after a long illness. That was on this day in 1994. The Jamaica Conference Center was built by the Urban Development Corporation, UDC, in 1982 and officially opened on this day in 1983. The Jamaica Conference Center was officially opened on this day in 1983. One more, perhaps, to take us to the break. On February 15, 1983 as well, the interim headquarters of the International Seabed Authority was officially opened by Her Majesty. 1978, 4 Jamaicans were awarded Silver Musgrave medals for their contributions to theater, radio, and the arts. Charles Hyatt was awarded for his theater and radio. Reggie and Sheila Carter for their contribution to theater, and Archie Lindo for his contribution to the arts and radio.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Did you know that the flu can lead to
How many more?
hospitalization and even death? Pregnant women, persons 60 years and older, babies and children, and persons with a chronic illness such as diabetes, asthma, or heart disease are at a high risk for complications from the flu. Get the flu vaccine today. Visit your nearest health center and ask to be vaccinated. The flu is no joke. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
We gonna walk down Freedom Street, Freedom Street.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5 heures moins 14. 现在几点了？5点14分。16 minutes, I beg your pardon, 14 minutes. The Mandarin is correct. The English was wrong. 14 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? And there was a time that even with books, we weren't very enlightened. We were banning books. Look at 1962. In 1962, books brought from Cuba by Richard Fletcher and Walter Rodney of the University of the West Indies were confiscated by customs to assess whether or not they should be placed on the list of prohibited publications. The books dealt with the Cuban Revolution, speeches by the Cuban leader Fidel Castro, and works by Che Guevara on guerrilla warfare. So on that basis, those books were banned in Jamaica in 1962, 60 years ago. Let's see. Minister without portfolio Hugh Shearer and his mother were treated at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital for cuts and bruises following an accident in Fern Gully in Ocho Rios, St. Anne, when his car overturned. Shearer was on his way to Montego Bay to welcome UTANT Secretary General of the United Nations, who was coming for a 5-day visit. He was taking his mother to the family home in Martha Brae, Trelawney. On this day in 1963, the new road from Tom Redcombe Drive near Crossroads to Mountain View Avenue in St. Andrew, which provides entrance to the National Stadium, was to be called Kalamazoo Drive. Kalamazoo Drive. The decision was taken by the Roads and Works Committee of the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation to mark the affiliation between the city of Kingston and the city of Kalamazoo in Michigan, in the USA, which well, both cities had at the time been twinned. So I guess they never did use the name Kalamazoo Drive. It's Tom Redcombe Drive. Or this is the new road from Tom Redcombe Drive near Crossroads to Mountain View. Right. Let's go up the train here. 1962 again, 60 years ago, a new building to be the repository of the archives of Jamaica at the northwestern corner of the public square in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, was declared officially open by the governor, Sir Kenneth Blackburn. So that was a new building 60 years ago. 60 years later, the bricks are exposed, if it's the same structure we're talking about, right in the square there, Spanish Town, Emancipation Square. Yeah, that's now an old building. But the new building was opened on this day in 1962. 1958, 9 men and 6 women who received severe burns all over their bodies when a tanker with high-octane gasoline overturned and exploded in Runaway Bay on Boxing Day the previous year, and who had received plastic surgery at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, recovered sufficiently and were told they would be discharged from the hospital the following week. The health system wasn't bad then, was it? 1958 wasn't bad at all to have taken those burn victims to that level, that stage where they were subsequently discharged. Let's see. Going up the line once again. Some more history for you. 1957, the Jamaica Civil Service Association passed a resolution to ask the government to install rediffusion sets in the lunchrooms and canteens of all ministries and departments of government, which will contribute considerably to a good morale among government officers, and to provide funds from the public purse to pay for this entertainment. Rediffusion is a wired radio service provided by Radio Jamaica for a rental fee of 7 shillings and 6 pence per month. In other words, the Civil Service Association in Jamaica in 1957 was asking the government to put a radio or to to place radios in the lunchrooms and canteens of all ministries and departments of government. That was 1957. That was a big deal back then. Now you can carry your own radio. Yes, let's see. State Cinema. How many people remember State Cinema who went to watch movies at State Cinema? State Cinema in Crossroads opened on this day in 1955. It was owned by advertising agency and Impress advertising agent and impresario Dudley Macmillan. You would have heard of Macmillan Advertising at some point in Jamaica. 1954, thieves broke into the Kingston Parish Church and removed money, 2 bottles of wine for Holy Communion, candles, and other items valued at £5. Money of an unknown amount was also stolen from the charity boxes. It was 1954. We were stealing from the church. Let's look at 1952. Because there is confusion about the name of the road between Matilda's Corner and Papine in St. Andrew by postmen and even residents living on it, the Road and Works Committee of the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation formally declared it to be Old Hope Road. Old Hope Road, therefore, runs from Crossroads to Papine via Matilda's Corner. Every now and then we remind our listeners of this information. Matilda's Corner, so named for Matilda Munn, who was Keeble Munn's mom. Keeble Munn was the first to commercialize the trade in coffee. I think that something along those lines. The wording might be a little different. Right, so that's how Matilda's Corner got its name, from Matilda Munn, Keeble Munn, who was a former Minister of National Security as well, Keeble Munn. His mom, they apparently owned a lot of property from up in the hills coming all the way down. And so, hence the association of the name. But yes, a reminder that Old Hope Road starts in Crossroads and runs all the way up to Papine. That's where it starts. Starts at Crossroads and runs all the way up to Papine. So when you make that right turn at Matilda's Corner, you are still on Old Hope Road. However, Hope Road starts in Halfway Tree Square. So Hope Road starts at the clock in Halfway Tree Square and goes all the way up to Sovereign Center. Hope Road stops at the intersection there where Sovereign Center is. So you have the Hope Road, Barbican Road, Old Hope Road intersection. So Hope Road stops at the intersection. It doesn't go for any further. While Old Hope Road continues up all the way to Papine. Right. Let's see. What time is it? Almost out of time. Let's give you one more. Can we give you one more? That 19. Let's go up. All right. I think we're going to leave it here for now. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it here. It's just so much, and for us to start one of these now and try to finish before 5 o'clock, that's a lot of information. So in the meantime, can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Tuesday, the 15th of February, 2022. The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on. nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, both sides of the story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
Respect your father, brother, sisters, and all. Let's not deal with illiteracy. Let's work it out intelligently. Lord, cause we gonna walk, walk down freedom street. Everybody know we gonna
Hello, Mr. Rodney. Giving thanks for life, and you?
Well, giving thanks to us for life too, you know?
Good.
Life and love and everything, breathe, we breathe.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so we all things.
God is good.
Yes,
Can't
all the
complain.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you get some first?
No, I mean, I there are times I remember and I try and no luck, and there are other times. I think it's because she's in a controlled environment. I think that's part of it.
Yes, that's it.
So it's almost by chance that you can accurately time.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true. I was at class on Friday.
That's all right.
I had to go to my a cousin's funeral. That's why.
Sorry to hear that. Condolences.
Thank you very much. Yes. So that's what it is. And yesterday, I got a bit easier because I wasn't home. I just came in this afternoon.
Oh.
This morning, I should say this morning. Right?
You've been busy. Busy is good.
Yes. So,
Yes.
what I could in the afternoon. A bit yesterday, yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is. So, you just have to just go and give thanks. I'll stop to one day we get her. I don't know what's the problem.
I'll keep trying. I'll let you know if and when I get her.
Yeah, but she'll be very happy, you know.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah, she will. Yeah. Yes.
Powerful.
So, you take care now.
You too. Thanks for the call.
You're welcome, sir.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.